Hello again. This is Mark Farrar with Not Square Design. Working on a commercial project today, and I need to get truss calculations from the company. This is my contact info, email address if you need for anything. Everything we're going to do here will be compatible with AutoCAD LT because we are working only in 2D for this project. There was a 3D model that I did create at the beginning, but that is not part of the construction documentation. So then we're just going to make sure that everything is good with the plotting sheet. And the plotting sheet is really important, at least to me. Love it. Set that up I don't know, 5 years ago, and I'm hooked. So pretty cool little deal, especially if you have a company where you have employees working on stuff and you want to actually see their progress and maybe make some red lines without interrupting them. You can go right in and they won't even know you're there. So I have been building up quite an audience, probably because of the regularity in which I'm making these videos. So if you do like these, please like it. Finding out that that's kind of important as far as YouTube goes. And if you're planning on watching more, then go ahead and subscribe. So anyway, let's get working on this drawing. Some of you seem to be sticking around, so get a few subscribers nowadays. And boy, we just started this, so pretty happy with not even really trying to become exactly a YouTuber. This was done to train a gal, show her how I draft. So just became bigger than that because I posted on the internet and started getting people that were interested. And I don't mind teaching, and don't mind showing people how I do things. And if they get something out of it, great. But at any rate, I'm going to. I did this one. I dropped in this, and what I do is I've got all my blocks and stuff. So this was up here, so when I search for blocks, I can see it. And I just grabbed this little section piece. This one's for interior elevations, and this may be for some certain directional feature you might want. It's so easy to rotate these. So if I do one sideways, if I flip it sideways, then you just take and grab that and rotate it and turn it. And of course, if I was doing something sideways, I'd turn the arrow. And so you can rotate that same thing around that center point and point in another direction. So anyway, it's really kind of a cool little block. But I brought it in already. So in this roof framing plan, what I had to do was go to my plotting sheet, look on S3. Nope, my section AA is on S3. So now it's just coming in and making sure that says S3. Probably can't read that. That says S3. And now we're going to move on to foundation and check those because I don't think I've updated them yet. They are not. So just double click on that little guy. And these were attributes at one point. Just can't. Having trouble finding the value in that for certain things. Things this small just didn't seem to matter. These guys are still, I believe. Yeah, they are an attribute. So we have to look at the individual details, and we got to place them too. So, but those are foundations, so they won't be today. But we'll finish up this section to include this existing foundation because we got a shop here, and boy, has it got a monster footing. So we're just bearing on it because it is plenty big enough to set on. So it's getting the space in here and then weatherproofing this. That has been the biggest challenge, and I still have to detail that out. But Roof framing, we got that side done. We do this side, yes, we did. Oh, we did the roof. We need to do the other side of the foundation. S3, no, we got them both. All right, so that one's good to go. And I can do like zoom extents and sometimes leave my drawings like that, or sometimes I like to not include my layer piece that's up there, and that's so you don't accidentally purge layers. It's just never in the way. But if you want, you can erase them. And but right now I'm working with the civil engineer, bringing in some of her stuff. Just brought in her stuff for all the parking, and she added 3 additional spaces, and then we rearranged it slightly. So I just took my more, I don't know, dynamic, just kind of, they weren't just single lines, they're just more like the painted lines, and replaced the single lines and then just dropped her layer by purging it. So it keeps me from accidentally purging stuff, but on this, that I did delete them. So I can purge my stuff, so I've got to be aware of that. So we've got that one, and then in the working, let's see how we're doing on our section here. We've got to reload next ref. Yeah, this is where we're going to be putting in the flashing detail and trying to get the name of the manufacturer for that steel that went through there, and that went onto the existing building, because then I can have them break it right here, and then it'll form fit the metal that's on the side of that building. And if we get the roof from the same manufacturer and can get the same pattern as the siding, then it'll bend right into that as well. So that's kind of the goal. Here we're doing 2 trusses. That's what this deal is about today. You know, how they'll handle this part and how they'll do their webbing is kind of up to them. Sometimes I do show some webbing in here. Graphically, it looks nice. This was just so small and tight. I didn't do it. Got a little busy. And then I'd want to hatch my concrete and that sort of thing. So, but my ledger plan, let's check our plotting drawing. And our section is at 1/2 inch. And it looks like, you can see how these are all twice the size of these here. And if I really get picky, what I want to do is come in here and take this guy, go to its properties, and change that to 2 1/4. And that would bring it down to the smaller size. In here, with arrows, you actually want to take your it's the dim scale. Where are you? Oh no, on this one I don't think I have it. Why don't I have it? So on a dimension, if I want to make them look smaller for the purposes of a section that's going to go all the way up to 1/2 inch, then come down to, where are you? Text fit, primary units, and I'll find it here. Okay, I found her. Right. Dim overall scale. Dim roundup. I just saw it. I had to go over and turn my pause off. So there it is. Dim overall scale, 48. So those I changed to 24. We won't bring them down to half that size. And they just don't show up so gigantic looking. So that's a preference deal, and then I come in and change all these. Right now, I'm not going to worry about it because I want to just be uniform and get this out right away for my truss contractor and go ahead and let, or truss manufacturer and let if it's not perfect, I do like it to look somewhat decent, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So what I do want to show in here is we've got these beams that are shown, and the section cut doesn't go through where these are. And these are beams in foreground. So beams in foreground. At covered entrance. And then I usually don't like it to be that big. There's my arrows. There we go. And get it to come down. Whoa, we just lost. There we go. I just want it to be small. Okay. So there's that beams in covered foreground. And if you want, you can, I don't have that many. There, that'll read right. And there's one out here. So what I would do here is I'll just take and mirror about somewhere where I think I'm seeing middle. Not a horrible shot. Take that and bring it out. Now they're all covered. Oh, missed one. And so we'll put you right. Oh, I didn't grab where it was coming from very well. I don't like pointing to the middle objects. I like hitting the edge. And I think it's much more clear. I also curve my leaders. And they just don't blend into your drawing, especially when they're busy. This is very simple, so not much going on here. So that looks pretty good. So I want to make sure I save that. Let's go into, now that's the footprint. So this was what was sent over with just line work. So I had to do an align command, brought it in with Control-Shift-0, brought it into the floor plan, and then AL for align. And if you don't know how to do that, then I can show you real quick. We can always undo it. So let's do it real fast. Because I just did this and nobody got to see it. So I'm going to do Control-Shift-C, pick that point. Then I will come over to my floor plan. I'll come over to this corner, Control-V, drop it. Now I know, because of who I'm working with, that my scale from her drawings is a factor of 12. And then I want to align, and I don't want to try and reselect that. So I'm going to type, previous. And then I'm going to align that to that. It's already there. And then this, and I'll come down and pick that corner. And then you can give it another one if you want, but I'm just going to hit enter, enter. And that rolls it around. And then you can see I just kind of moved my line work onto her line work. And so that's how that works. But it's already done. So this will zoom into our floor plan. We'll hit save. Make sure it is saved. Foundation plan. Make sure it is saved. And the reason I do all this, I want all my stuff, I gotta unreconcile. Not on this drawing. So, roof framing, save. And this guy we're done with, so I'll close it, save changes, no thanks. And we already made sure we saved that. So now I'm going to go to plotting. It's tell me, gosh, you got a lot to upload. So reload everything. There's my notes just appeared, so it's working great. And then I can figure out, geez, what am I going to send to the guy? And I'll write in the email the address and stuff from him. So I keep that private for the clients that I'm working for. So this looks, it doesn't look right. Okay, maybe it is 1, 2, 3, and a fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I didn't think it looked right. So something is wrong there. So let's check and see if we can figure out what that something is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my external references, and I'm going to go to this site, the office floor plan, concept 1. We sent them 3 concepts at the beginning, and then they chose the first. So I want to just select the new path and make sure it's pointing to the right place. So right now, this doesn't even look like it's even in the vicinity. I can't tell what lesson that is. That's lesson 2, okay. And then we'll pick it and say okay. And let's see what happened. It didn't fix it. Why not? So if I can troubleshoot that, and I'll be back. Okay. Paths and everything were probably just fine. So what I'm going to do is I notice this is off. This isn't necessary, so we're just going to delete it. It's an old remnant from the days when we did a lot of stuff by hand. So I'm just lining my viewport up with this guy, and I can stretch this out. I don't think I need the room, but my butt's covered if I do. Oh, this is the one where, so I'm going to go perpendicular to that guy and then perpendicular to that guy. Now I'm maxed out. So what I found is when I double click in here and then I clicked on this viewport isn't big enough. That wasn't there. So I'm going to pan or, and so I want to make sure I'm maxed out there so I get room for my parking. Then we'll click on that again and let's scoot it out. And it's probably changing in model space. So now I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're good. Double click outside so that you're no longer in there before you do any zooming around or you'll throw your scale off. And then before I plot, I always check my date. So this looks pretty good, but are those going to be legible? Well, this might be a very light color. My grays sometimes are like a halftone. So let's just try one. See what happens. So we can go to previous plot, hit preview, and I think this, yes, it's on an E-size sheet. So I have to come in and change my sheet size to a full bleed 34 byte. There we go, preview, and there she fits. So if I look at it, yeah, it's pretty faded out and pretty easy to read, especially when you think about once it prints. Now, will I fix that for the finals? Yes. But for today, I think we will be just fine. So, say okay. And then I just got to go. Oh, I'm down too far. Here, and we are looking at our project here for PDFs. And then we're going to do what is that? It's like a zip package 4. I thought I had sent this off. But we're going to just go through it because I've changed it anyway. So now I'm going to go and rename it. I checked my email. So maybe I just had it already and I was sending it without fixing those final things. And then I will put, let's just make it a little different, proofs for Remy. And now I can pop that open and say save. Bada bing. And there you have it. So if you want to see the whole thing, you just click. And this is opening an edge. I don't mind their plotter if I want to send over to my plotter. It's pretty quick. Works nicely. If I want to do half scale, it's real easy. So kind of like using edges, plotting stuff. This is a timber frame that we're currently working on. Pretty neat little barn. But none on that today. Oops, just close that one. Anyway, we've got that done. So let's go on to our elevations. Again, always, I like to check my date. I went through and changed most of these. Might have got them all. So save, print. And it's kind of, once you've set it up the first time, print button twice, then if you just hit previous, it should be good. I usually hit preview anyway, just to make sure I don't have any layers turned on that I didn't want, that kind of thing. And then you can just hit print, and off you go. And then I'm going to hit save on the other screen. I'm not recording that because it's giving away where the project's at. So anyway, this is how that would look, and I'm just going to do the rest of them. And then I'm going to, if we go here, where did I have the, oh, they're down here, PDFs. So what I was looking at earlier was this, and you can see I even zipped file. So I had these created, and then just right click and send a zip. So I'm just gonna, since I've got new stuff, I'll just make sure that he's got the latest and greatest, and then maybe even dump that. But that is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna zip it and ship it. That's it, short video. And again, if you like what I do, please do subscribe and hit the like. I'm finding out that's helpful. So thank you all, especially those of you who are following me along. It's pretty cool. And I haven't gotten a single comment yet. And I do have that setting on, except my last video I did last night. I had the setting on that says, you know, that you want to have a chance to just make sure there's no foul language or anything, or YouTube does it. I'm not even sure. I don't know if there's some cache out there where it's holding all the comments, but if I'm not getting back to you, that's because I'm not figuring out how to see them yet. But like I said, I'm brand new to YouTube, been a viewer, but I'm brand new to making videos, and hopefully you're finding it helpful and you keep following. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.